Hi there, I'm Dr. Evan Erickson, CEO of Liberty Ion, your friendly grant writer. So reach out, evan@libertyion.com. So today we're going to be talking about the Defense Logistics Agency. They're one of the DoD agencies that is active right now. You can do a quick search online for the DLA's website where they post their BAAs or broad agency announcements. That's how they put out their listings. They also have SBIR, so they are part of the SBIR program. I'll include the link for this website, and then also they'll be on Grants.gov is where they're hosted at. And so they have both R&D about logistics, and so there's several different uh, areas that they will look at. And so logistics, meaning whatever you need to supply to the Army, how to supply it. That's from anywhere from ammunition and bullets, things like this, to food. So it's a very broad. Whatever you need to sustain troops, they'll be involved in it, and so they'll look at things like how do you improve the longevity of fruits and vegetables and things like that, all the way to how do you manufacture, uh, you know, batteries better. So there's several battery grants out there as well. So they have R&D, and you can look through that. These are the different broad agency announcements right now. And so the way that these work is that they're open for 5 years. You have a bucket of money, so it says ceiling is 90 million here on the metal casting one, for example. And so once that bucket is up, it's gone. So it's better to apply early. And specifically for the DLA, these ones work with white papers. You can load up the BAAs from this website, and this will have all the details of how to apply. Basically, they usually have white papers that they start off with for the DLA, and a white paper looks like this. White paper is a lot more convenient for applications because it's just sort of like an extended abstract of your idea and plan, and then it goes to the project manager that looks at it, and they will tell you do apply or don't apply. And so this way, then you kind of have a stepwise process. So you don't spend the time putting together a full 20-page technical volume. So this is very convenient, to have this system. So for the DLA, you can email the office and check to see if your idea is a good fit for the topic you're looking at, for the BAA and topic. So I recommend trying. The issue is that this is the contracting office. The DCSO is their contracting office, and so it goes through a gatekeeper who then forwards it to the program manager. So you don't necessarily get to contact the program manager. They do have DLA events that go on, and so you can sort of go there and schmooze. And if you get the contact of a DLA representative, you can reach out to them specifically and try to speak with your project manager. That's always a benefit. It's not so easy to find them, and they definitely don't want to put stuff in writing necessarily. So I would, call. Unfortunately, all the phones have changed with the DLA, or they removed the phones, so you cannot call the DCSO, the officers for contracting officers right now. So it's hard to get a hold of them. I have gotten a response back just emailing this rnd.dcso@dla.mil, and they will let you know, okay, don't waste your time, or please do. So that's a resource that you can use. But essentially these BAAs are open, for a period of 5 years. And what you do is you have a window when you can submit a white paper, and these white papers generally are around 5 pages. So for this one, for instance, it'll be detailed in the BA exactly how to do it. Often at Liberty Ion, we will have the templates already made, so you could just email us if you want to, have us work with you. I'm happy to share it, even if you don't want, and I have it, I'll share it with you if you want to talk about potentially working together someday. So just reach out, evan@libertyion.com. But the paper is essentially, you've got an executive summary, sort of a header, and then you have the project summary, and that'll be like, some basic things like goals and impact, technical plan, capabilities, an estimate for the cost. So it's a rough order of magnitude on the cost. So once you have the rough order of cost, so this can be changed, of course. You just come up with they say a rough order of magnitude, so 10x, I guess, and then have the schedule listed there. Often they do not have limits on the projects listed. There are some requirements. If you get above a certain amount, they'll say, for instance, I believe with this emergent 4 one that we're looking at, it is a $750,000 limit in which if you go above that, then you are formally required to be audited. So that may be something in which you don't want to have to deal with. That said, it's a normal part of the procedure. You just need to put in place federal acquisition rules, FAR style accounting, which it's we'll have another video about that. It's not too difficult, but you can get Liberty On can help you implement that, and then you can do the bookkeeping yourself. It's not or you hire a bookkeeper that is CPA. That's they all have to pass the FAR test on their CPA test. And as I said on this DLA website, they've got many different ones that come up. So metal casting, subsistence network. So that's about the food, feeding solutions. Then they have just general research, a battery network that's open right now until 2026. So that's if you do battery stuff, this is in that sphere. You've got a military unique sustainment technology, and so this is about clothing and individual equipment supply chain. Emergent 4 is more of a scientific studies, so more open-ended. Distribution, so this is like warehouse modernization, different business practices for logistics, things like that. Acquisition modernization, technology research, so this is where we would do a lot of AI type stuff, looking into how to procure equipment and supplies and things like this. And for the strategic materials one, it's looking at critical materials. So graphite, for example, is one of those. Different materials that are limited, and so a lot of rare earths and things like this. That being said, additionally, with the National Defense Stockpile that's ran by the Defense Logistics Agency, they do have calls out that'll be through the spring on this, testing, for materials. I assume that they will renew this, so this will be coming out again probably next year. The qualification one is open until March 30th, 2026, and that's more of a pilot line, so that's a good one for you to apply to if you're looking for a pilot production, some sort of research on process, and get your pilot for critical materials or minerals funded. So that's another one. And then the final area where you can find DoD, Defense Logistics Agency grants is on the DoD SBIR website, and so I'll send the link to that. And they often will put their SBIRs here. Currently, the SBIR program is on a bit of a hiatus because they haven't agreed on the funding. This will likely be gridlock will be broken, I assume, in the next month or so. This happens every now and then, of course, that they have to renew the SBIR program, but it's not controversial amongst even Project 2025 even had suggested that this is the best program. It's the Small Business Investment Research program. So right now they've paused it. They're still taking proposals. Maybe next week or so we'll see this open up, hopefully. So the issue with the SBIRs is that they do not use this system of the white paper. So you have to put forward the full proposal, and for instance, the technical volume can be around 20 pages. Here's a template from one we did earlier this spring with a client, and so it's a heavy lift, especially since these are usually limited to $100,000 or $200,000. So what I would recommend is going after write a white paper, submit that to a few of these different BAAs, and then write out your full SBIR proposal. That can be back used for the white papers. And what you can do is, if you can make them all the same, the issue is you can only get funding from one of those. So if you get funded from multiple different BAAs or an SBIR and a BBA, you cannot get funded by two grants for the same work. So that would be a fraud, and so it's important that you watch that. So you can tweak your proposals a little bit and say, so if your initial one will be on, say we're talking about cathode materials, since that's my background for lithium-ion batteries. Say you do one on doping. So you'll have all the introduction will be the same basically, but then the main work will be on doping with different elements. Okay, so then you do another one, say it's on surface coatings, and so that could be a separate one. So you could kind of tweak your proposals. So you apply to like 5 different ones. If you do get funded, then you can do it's different work, and then you're not crossing the line. And it's kind of a gray area, uh, but it just has to be defensible for you, and you have to report it when you apply to all of these that you applied for similar projects, and you'll be clear with your project manager and the contracting officer that this is going on, and it won't be a problem. So it's fairly easy to keep the same sort of introduction and then tweak it. So you just you put in the initial effort. There's a little bit of initial effort, and then you can go and use that as a template for your future proposals. So I always recommend apply to as many as you can early and often. It's I've seen bad proposals get funded, and I've seen great proposals not get funded. It's not necessarily related to the quality, unfortunately. It is a shots on net game, a Gaussian distribution, and you just gotta keep trying. So rejection is normal. Most grants are rejected, so you just gotta keep throwing it out there, and eventually one will stick. Anyways, thanks for listening. I am Dr. Evan Erickson. Reach out if you need any help with a DLA or any other proposals that you're working on. Evan at libertyion.com. And thank you very much.